Alright people, so the saga continues this week with keeping up with the Uchiha's Take 2, aka SasukeRetsuden. Welcome everyone, Zansul Uchiha here, welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, the Uchiha that Itachi forgot that went to YouTube, Zansul Uchiha. But yeah, it's the end of the weekend once again, and unfortunately for a lot of us, it's either work and or school tomorrow. So at least let's end off the weekend on a solid note with this reaction review for SasukeRetsuden, where I believe we should be counting down to the finale sooner or later, considering that the code arc is starting next month. Not really sure exactly when next month, but it is what it is. Let's see what Mr. I'm always out of chakra has to offer this week. He was pretty smooth last week, I'll give that to him. But let's see what this week has to offer. The manga is still ongoing as of this recording, and it's awesome as well. I'll highly recommend checking out that version of the story. But for what it's worth, let's dive into this one. Boruto episode 284. Alright, here we are everyone. Sasuke's story, The Secret in the Cellar. I don't know, Sakura just looks really good, not gonna lie, like, it's that Boruto era charm, I tell you. Yes, let me lead you astray so I can take on your appearance. I mean, I am Sasuke! Alright, well, this is new information. So yeah, really tells me he doesn't hear the thing rolling. Seriously. Yo, and the thing that Zansul like idiot, he must recognize there's something going on. Maybe it's a Sasuke Sakura, he knows what he's doing. And of course he has absolute faith in her, so, you know, should be fine. And just like that, we have our key. Come on, man! How long is it taking to open this damn door? This man said pull any door. Okay, so this is much deeper than the manga. Edo Tensei. There we go. Ah boy, Sasuke versus Meno, take 99. Ooh. Listen, I don't know if it's just me, but anytime Naruto and Sasuke do techniques or jutsu that are outside what we expect them to, it just feels refreshing, because these, like, if you go on their wiki, yo, these guys have like all chakra nature transformations, bro. So it's like, okay, let's get some variety, you know. That's all I'm saying. Leave it to Sasuke the Dragon Whisperer. Alright, that's cute. Well, it's interesting to see that the anime is doing a new twist on this section of the story. Was not expecting that. And of course, they're hiding the face of the other character, so I'm assuming it's a character we already know. Alright, so that's what we have there for episode 284 of the Boruto anime. Now, it kind of felt like there wasn't really much for me personally to react to, or even genuine reaction to when it comes down to that episode, so I guess my reaction segment for this video is going to be short. But definitely coming out to this episode, it's interesting to compare it to the manga version, because I mean, we've got some new tidbits between them revealing how Zansul's eye works versus the manga. It was just basically explained that it's just one panel, it's a reflective eye, so he can't actually cast genjutsu on him. So there's that. Interestingly enough, compared to the manga version of the story, Sasuke making the connection and saying like, yo, he feels it's Edo Tensei, that was kind of revealed by Sasuke just a bit later than the events of this chapter. If you were to put them side by side, it's only really and truly after this, if memory serves right, when him and Sakura kind of figure out the whole ultra particles deal and where they're located, that it's like, oh, I think Zansul's up to this. So it's interesting to kind of compare it to the manga to see that they sped up the pacing in terms of Sasuke figuring it out. But I will praise the episode in at least it seems it's doing something different. It's interpreting or adapting the story of the original novel differently compared to the manga version, which I do like, because at the end of the day, I personally think the manga version so far compared to the anime is the better version. But if the anime can do things to, you know, stand out on its own in its own original way, but still stay true to the story, I think that's a good move on their part, because that section there when we had Sasuke, you know, logically thinking about it, you know, figuring out how to break the Edo Tensei control on this version of Meno and doing it in a different way other than just, you know, visual genjutsu, actual pumping his chakra into him, and then that in combination with visual genjutsu. Yeah, that's good. And Sasuke the Dragon Whisperer is actually kind of funny, to say the least. So decent episode. It kind of felt slow, because especially that section there when Sakura was with Zansul, I'm like, seems like it's dragging a bit, but it was nice to actually see Sasuke, yo, map out the keyhole with chakra, use earth style. I think one of the perks of this episode, I love seeing Sasuke using different elemental releases to get himself around this situation that's not a straight up like fight. Essentially, it's the creativity of it for me, to say the least. So there's that, and just the dynamic and the teamwork between Sasuke and Sakura, definitely awesome to see. So honestly, when it comes down to this episode of Boruto, it's really looking at the differences between this adaptation of the story, this version of it, compared to the manga version, and just the things that the characters do that are out of the normal. That aside, the pacing kind of did feel a bit slow. Like the episode was just like, we're in this one location. But I guess it kind of fits with the whole, oh, let me not make Zansul notice. Even though I think, I think if I was Zansul, I would have actually noticed that something was off. Or, now this man is behind me at the door. Or the key and dropped. Or, you know, Zansul must realize something is off, you know? So there's that. Compared to the manga version, Zansul actually went down into the cellar to say like, oh. And then with the manga version, it was actually a shadow clone that was in the room with Sakura that went down into the cellar. So, you know, interesting differences. But I'll give it to this episode, or at least the anime version of this arc, of in their efforts to try to distinguish or, you know, set themselves apart from the manga version of the story. Granted, I don't know how the original novel handled things, but, you know, it's interesting to see. But anyway, that's all I have for this one. Sanju Uchiha here, people. Hope you guys have an awesome week this week. Of course, if you haven't checked out my Boruto Chapter 77 review or reaction, you can definitely check those out. See you guys in the next one.